So, Lewis and Derek, how did you enjoy Saban Moon?
It was an abomination.
Sailor Moon.
Okay, when they called her Sailor Moon, they didn't necessarily care about her being a sailor. So I really don't. I like, of all the things, I don't know why I'm stuck on this, but they gave the Sailor Scouts sailboats.
Call me
sails.
Serena.
I think that's the thing that got me when you finally mentioned that. It's like, oh my god, they did do that. That's why they gave. Like, it just didn't click for me. And then you said it, and I'm like, oh, holy crap, that's terrible. That is pure '90s cheese, and I'm honestly kind of amazed it wasn't made because it just sort of fit. Maybe because the animation budget was like, oh, we got to do live action and animation.
Oh yeah, this isn't Power Rangers. We can't reuse the animation, can we?
Also, there's, especially at that time, but even to today, you can't really get a show like that that's aimed mostly at girls to have that kind of a budget, unfortunately. Like, that's just not how these sorts of things work. It needs to have some appeal to boys. That was a thing with Cardcaptor Sakura in the West, where it was changed to Card Captors, and they tried to make the boy just as important as the girl, and failed.
Failed miserably. Yes. You know, you're not wrong. There's a channel called Sailor Moon Says, and like the video that they have posted as their trailer is this basically a commercial aimed at investors. A very early advertisement of the Sailor Moon franchise to people who would presumably have wanted to invest in the show's budget. And they made a point of mentioning how it had universal appeal to both boys and girls. Girls were like the transforming heroes. Boys were like the non-stop action. Boom.
You know, there's an easier way to show the appeal to the boys, and it's just the transformation sequence. That's all you need to show.
Well, I remember somebody was talking about how they were working at a video store at the time when Sailor Moon was really big, and the son, a boy and his dad came in, and the son was really excited for Sailor Moon, and the dad came in and was like, so, lay it to me straight, should I be concerned that my son's into this girl stuff? And the clerk took him aside and like showed him like the transformation to like, I think he's fine. And the dad was like, oh, I get it.
I can understand if you never noticed this, because this is the Bare Naked Ladies song 1 Week, where you can barely understand what they're saying. One of the lines is like Sailor Moon, that cartoon's got them boom anime babes that make me think the wrong thing. Can't help it if I think you're funny when you're mad. Try hard not to smile because I feel bad. I'm the kind of guy who laughs at a funeral. Can't understand what you mean. Okay, I'll stop. Sorry, I'm showing off at that point.
You really are.
But anyway, yes. So even back then, they knew what was going on and why certain people were watching that show. So
the crazy thing to me was like watching it at that age. It was like I always assumed they were like
Captain Planet. So
yeah. I always assumed they were like 16, 17, and then you find out later,
they're
like,
14.
no.
They're in middle school.
Not that it really makes it better, but, like, still, it's weird when they're, like, 13 years old.
I mean, think of it this way. If they were 14 in 92, that means they're in their late 40s now.
True. They are technically older than me in that case, but that's still weird.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching a lot of Sailor Moon, particularly Crystal lately, and looking at that series in retrospect is very interesting. But one of the things that I will say is that the 90s show is very hokey. And
the 90s were just a hokey time. You know? You gotta kind of be okay with that.
I watched a little bit of Crystal, and I was because, you know, obviously it's a bit closer to the manga, and I've never read the manga, and I was like, man, there is no room for characterization in this. They are just bam, bam, bam with plot points. You don't really get it.
Not necessarily true, but
at least it felt like that with Crystal. Like
the thing is, the manga is 10 or 12 volumes long, depending on which version of it you're going by. And each arc takes about, in the newest set of volumes, two volumes to complete an arc.
That's very, very quick.
That is very quick.
The individual manga chapters are a bit longer than your usual weeklies.
Was it monthly?
But the point is, it plays out more like a novel with one singular plot than it does a Sentai, and that's what you wind up having to do as far as looking for characterization goes is watching the characters' words and actions as they respond to things, because you're not getting big old episodes that are focused on one character at a time anymore.
Yeah.
On the one hand,
makes sense.
you don't get quite as much in-your-face development, but on the other hand, you don't have to wait 5.5 seasons for Sailor Moon herself to actually grow as a person, which is nice. She's not tripping over her own feet halfway through the 4th arc anymore.
I mean, Serena Usagi, whatever the hell her name is,
Usagi.
She was always the worst part of the show from the bits I've seen. She's just obnoxious and never helps and is a bad person and
kind of. Yeah, I mean, okay, one of the filler arcs that wasn't in the manga is the whole Nephrite thing. In the manga, Nephrite just sort of gets fried with lightning the moment Sailor Jupiter awakens, and there's a reason for that I won't get into, but the point is, in the anime, what winds up happening is they made up this love story arc with Usagi's friend Naru, or Molly in the dub.
I'm Molly.
And there's this tragic death scene where Nephrite sacrifices himself to protect Naru, and then inexplicably in the next episode, it's Sailor Jupiter's introduction, and Usagi is just entirely focused on this new best friend. And then the episode after that is her getting back to Naru and actually realizing that something is wrong. Bit of awkward pacing there. She forgets that Naru just had a highly traumatic experience and starts lusting over Sailor Jupiter's lunchbox. And then the next episode she's like, "Oh, I should probably be a friend again."
I mean, I get that after an emotional arc, some comic relief is important.
Well,
I understand that.
The reason it happened is because they wanted Sailor Jupiter's introduction to still be in the same place, but they killed off Nephrite in the episode before Nephrite was supposed to die. So it all just...
That really would have made it rough to have Jupiter still be the one to ice him.
I mean... So, it was
Hey, Naru, you meet my new best friend, Makoto. You're going to be friends, right?
So-
Yeah, but I'm still sad about the guy I was crushing over. Literally just died in my arms. Ooh. Mako, you might want to not talk to Molly for a bit.
So it was just a case where their filler and the actual plot that was supposed to happen at the same time as the filler just did not mesh and resulted
Did Mako
in...
ever tell Naru that she killed her? That she killed the guy she was after?
I don't think.
Yeah, but he was
I've
evil.
not watched
It's
Sailor
fine.
Moon in a long time.
Right. But it's not the first time. It's not the first or the last time that happens, where the filler that they made up just inexplicably makes the main cast seem like completely horrible human beings. Pretty much every bad thing that Tuxedo Mask ever does in the show is an anime original.
That makes sense.
Tuxedo Mask does stuff?
In the manga, yes.
Okay.
I thought he just kind of stood there and said, "You can do it, Sailor Moon."
That's the 90s show.
That is the 90s show. Okay, in the manga, Tuxedo Mask is actually just a guy who puts on a tuxedo and does vague Phantom Thief stuff because he has dreams that a princess is asking him to find a special crystal. And he has amnesia, so this is his only lead. He just sort of happens to meet Sailor Moon in the process of doing that. And he's a regular guy, so he doesn't have any special powers. But that doesn't stop him from Superman punching a monster in the face to protect Sailor Moon. And it winds up being 10 times more effective than anything the 90s show ever did with him. But The 90s show also removed all of his special powers that he gains from the second arc onward, so he just spends the entire series throwing roses.
Because that's sort of his thing. I throw a rose.
He does
Can't
not
have me
throw
not throw a
a
rose.
single rose in the manga Crystal storyline. The only rose that I have seen in 3 arcs of Crystal that's associated with him is something that he pulls out with a tuxedo mask puppet to cheer up Chibi Usa at one point. Which I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that was in the manga or if it was Crystal making a cheeky 90s show reference. I would have to see. I don't know why Tuxedo Mask has a tuxedo mask puppet. It just sort of comes out of nowhere.
Well, nobody else will hang out with him, so he needs some kind of company.
I mean, somebody has to buy the merch.
But yeah. Basically, the characters do feel a bit more like human beings in the manga storyline. So, yeah.
Isn't Tuxedo Mask in college in the manga?
He's in high school and he goes to college, I think, in the 4th arc. But
So Sailor Moon is like what, 14 when he goes to college? Still little.
15. She would be starting Japanese high school.
It's still a bit weird.
It's a yeah. I had a friend in high school who, when we were seniors, started dating one of the freshmen, and we were like, "Dude, it's a little weird." And they broke up like as soon as he went to college, and we were like, "Yeah, you should have done that a little bit earlier." But whatever.
I mean, on the one hand, yeah, there is that. It's kind of creepy feeling people generally get from that kind of age gap. On the other hand, I have not, like, it seems to be not uncommon for girls to be attracted to older boys.
Generally it's mostly just when they're teenagers is the thing. Nobody's gonna bat an eye at a 21-year-old dating.
I had a girlfriend
or something.
when I was working at Walmart who was just about my age, and she confessed at one point that she was attracted to one of our older managers.
Klonoa's grandpa just got nuked.
So I don't
Yeah,
think
my
it's.
grandpa.
I don't
what?
think it's just. What the hell?
We killed
Yeah,
grandpa.
Joker just came by and nuked Klonoa's grandpa. Caught him right in his rocking chair.
And now they're gonna take him for.
Took his pendant because they need it for plot reasons.
Wait, is he like actually dead?
Yes.
Yes.
What the
This-
fuck?
This game weirdly goes places with its story where it's like, oh crap, there's consequences. Ah crap. Well, Ryan, should we get into the twist of this game and the messed up parts of it?
Oh yeah.
Now
You mean how Hubo's a massive dick?
oh yeah, Hupo's a monster.
Like,
All right. So do you want us to spoil it, or do you want to wait till the end?
well, hold on. Well, like,
We can wait till
I'm
part
kind
7,
of like
I'd say.
before spoilers. I'm caught up on how Joker was just a comedy. I'm gonna summon my monsters and get you, kind of villain, and now he just fucking murdered your grandpa.
Gotta
Like,
raise the stakes.
Wow, it's like if Team Rocket actually had that gun and then shot Ash's mom.
Jeez.
Yep. Like, yeah, Joker eventually stops playing for fun. He's just going for keeps, and
He becomes weirdly effective at it too.
yeah, he is really good at it. So
Yeah, I'd say parts of this game get darker than 2, and 2 gets really dark at points.
yeah, somebody mentioned it to me, and I didn't even think about it at the time. But 2 did Inside Out before Inside Out.
Yeah, kinda.
Well, that's a cool design, like
Yeah,
a flying
this-
snake. Like that's
This
cool.
It is a cool monster design.
Now we're definitely getting into the stuff to where it's a bit more
Serious
unique and
business.
interesting.
Yeah.
Like the bosses are
Unfortunately,
getting a bit more
unfortunately,
varied.
it's still kind of a chump, but
Oh yeah, of course. It's just always going to be that. But
the only hard boss is the last one,
yeah, that one did give me trouble.
which for
But,
some reason, which weirdly enough, that one looks like Grimace from McDonald's, but whatever.
What?
We'll get to him.
It is a bit tricky trying to maneuver around the obstacles that this one throws out at you. Kind of tries to play around with 2.5D depth perception. And
This would have been a fun thing on the 3DS.
yeah, it would have.
Yeah.
I think a 3DS Klonoa game probably would have been cool. Like, the 3DS could handle a game that looks like this, pretty sure.
And it also would have worked well with its 2.5D gameplay aspect, I feel.
Yeah, like this, I don't think this looks comparable to like Kirby Robobot or Triple Deluxe. Now that I'm looking at it, like they could have ported this to the 3DS with minimal changes, I think.
Yeah, I wish they would do a bit more with Klonoa. I feel there's potential there, especially now with the whole this verse that came out right before the whole Mega Man 9 Super Meat Boy kind of platformer renaissance started.
Yeah, there could have been a lot of interesting things that they could that I think they still could do with this character.
People are hoping for like a Bandai Namco rep in Smash, and Klonoa gets tossed out there. But
if they're going to make another Namco character, it's either going to be Klonoa or a Tails character.
Yeah,
I think there's because Harada already said Tekken's not going to happen.
At this point, I'd put my bet more on the Tails character because RPG.
Yeah,
characters.
I don't want to hear the Smash fan base whine about is another anime swordsman.
No,
yeah, but think about it.
But
Tales
Ted,
of Symphonia remixes. All right, I'm just throwing that out there.
Also, he's not just an anime swordsman; he's an anime twin swordsman. He's got two of them.
That
makes him twice as good.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, it's like
So what? So what? If he picks up a beam sword, you just put it in his mouth like Zoro from One Piece?
Like,
I wish.
I'm not the world's biggest Tales of fan in terms of the gameplay, but like, that's not the music's freaking amazing. I would love just the remixes to come from that, but I think Klonoa I think is probably about as likely as like Arthur to get in Ghouls and to get in Smash.
I'd say slightly higher than Arthur, if only because Bandai Namco has a bit less of a variety to pull from character-wise that could be in Smash.
Yeah. There's not, like, again, Harada said no to, like, Heihachi, so...
I'm sorry, the way that line was written...
Rest in peace, Grandpa.
...sounded less like Klonoa's grandfather was dying and more like he was trying to remember what the script said. He's like, it is your destiny...
Some vague spouting stuff to get you
Something
motivated.
about power and responsibility.
Bury me next to Uncle Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they've got the Klonoa standing in the wind with the looking determined. Oh, wow, he can speak full sentences. Holy crap.
Yeah, they actually did expand this and allow him to like get some emotional pathos out of this.
Well, for 2 sentences anyway. By the way, Pamela's here. Time to go to the Temple of the Sun. Bye, Grandpa.
Yep. Time for fun again. Bye, Grandpa.
I just like how his house is just charred next to everything else. It's like, what?
The nice thing is that we were talking earlier about how Klonoa, you're meeting these random people and then you sort of like bye, never see you again. Klonoa, you actually bring back all the characters. They do have
Except Grandpa.
a point. Except Grandpa. Grandpa is just kind of, his charred corpse has a thumbs up. It's like, you can do it.
I'll give you my energy, but I'm kind of dead at the moment.
Rigor mortis kicks in while he's holding his thumb up.
Oh, God. Oh, God.